I'm Joseph.
And I am Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
Oh, yep.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot to get through.
We do. What happened?
Well, first, last week I went to Calabasas to see David Sedaris at a book signing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my second time doing this.
Yes.
Well, actually, no. The first time it was an actual show.
Yeah, in 2008 when we were in Minneapolis.
He's known for speaking to every person in line at a signing, and he will stay until every person has had their book signed.
Yes.
Which takes hours because he has full conversations with everyone and will either draw something in your book. This time he drew a tree in mine and talked to me about
how phallic.
Talk to me. He wanted to know how much I paid for my house and what do I do for work. And last time he wrote in my book, what is the difference between myself and a Camaro? The Camaro doesn't have an erection. Anyway, his new book is called The Land and Its People. I will read this book.
Sounds like a socialist tome.
Okay, last week we reviewed a film called Single Man Problems Volume 1. And the creators of the film messaged us after apparently listening to the episode. But it was a nice message. It says, thank you for your honest and hilarious review of Single Man Problems Volume 1, aka Season 1. And yes, it was originally shot as a mini web series back in 2019, but because we had to pivot to Tubi in 2023 and needed a longer runtime in total, we cut all the episodes into one full version.
Oh.
Volume 2 is set to be released this fall, and we've heard all of the notes. Like I said, I will be sad because I need to know what Ronnie's raggedy ass is up to. But I guess it makes sense finding out that basically the movie we watched was segments from the web series. And that's why there were issues with continuity.
That clarification assists me in understanding, but nothing like somebody nudging you and being like, hey, I heard you talking shit about me.
That episode is a good one.
Oh.
Because we also get your one woman show.
Oh, yes.
Which is pretty good.
Who can forget that? Oh, I forgot to put this in my list of notes for you, but I have a sorry to this man entry that I think we both forgot about.
Oh, well, that's very much out of order, but let's go ahead and do it now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was more in there, but I didn't want to forget again. I said a wrong name for, I wouldn't say he's an icon, but a notable person, but in a reference.
Not you minimizing someone while trying to apologize. Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Well, he's dead. He's dead. I mean, he was handsome when he was young. Peter Graves,
from Airplane.
I bring up in the Stop That Train review, and I think I said Robert Graves because you got frustrated because you couldn't find a picture of this man because that is not that man. But, you know, I grew up with Peter Graves on A&E Biography.
And you often quote him from Airplane.
Oh, yes. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Because his cadence makes it more funny to me.
This past week, this topic has gone viral. Back in 2011, Tyra Banks wrote a fantasy novel.
Oh, God.
Called Modelland.
Like Anne
Rice. Did you know that?
Hell no. I don't follow her like that.
I didn't know anything about this. There's even a song she recorded for it, and I wanted to play it, but then we'll be demonetized. So people need to go look for the song because it's insane.
Because everything she does is insane and doesn't make sense because it's like an alien tackling, I'm going to make hot ice cream because that makes sense somewhere to someone.
I want to read what this book is about. So hold your critiques.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
The book is called Modelland, and readers have described it as America's Next Top Model, Harry Potter, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thrown into a blender. Ugh. The main character is Tuki de la Creme, a girl considered unattractive because her mismatched eyes and large forehead. Despite this, she's invited to attend the world's most elite modeling school. Modelland is basically Hogwarts for aspiring supermodels, except the students are training to become magical celebrity models called Intoxibellas.
No.
Tuki befriends 3 other girls who don't fit Modelland's beauty standards. Dylan, who's considered too plus size, Shiraz, who's considered too short, and Piper, an albino princess.
And then...
Okay. If you're wondering how unhinged this book gets, on their first night at Modelland, every girl gets their period at the exact same time and is told it will be their last one ever. Also, one of the teachers literally has a hand for a head. As if that wasn't enough, there's a mysterious rebel supermodel named CL who turns out to be the secret daughter of Modelland's headmaster. She recruited Tukey and her friends because they reminded her of a childhood friend who was rejected by Modelland and later died after failing to get in. The book ends with CL taking control of Modelland, promising to end its impossible beauty standards, and then randomly teleporting away with Tukey. We never find out where they went because the book ends on a cliffhanger and Tyra Banks never released book 2.
Oh, I wonder why. That sounds insane, but also, should we get it and we can adapt it into a stage play?
Oh, God.
Because that's, wow, okay. Sounds like nonsense, but entertaining.
Julio Torres, who is a funny person.
Yes.
He doesn't necessarily like to be referred to as a stand-up. And I wouldn't call his show stand-up comedy. He's a visual artist who's funny.
Yeah, he's kooky.
And he did a movie we really liked with Tilda Swinton.
Problemista.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he was on Very Delta, and he said something that resonated with me so fiercely that I had to repeat it for the masses.
Okay.
Because he explained to Delta he has over 13,000 unread emails. And she was trying to wrap her head around it. And he used the analogy that emails are like leaves floating in a river. Mm-hmm. And if he's not standing at the point when the leaf floats by, it's a missed opportunity.
I love that.
He will not swim downstream to find them. And I thought that's exactly how I feel about correspondence.
Do you want to see how many emails I have in my inbox? Do you see that number?
I can't see that far, but what is it?
25,701. And I feel very much like that. If I've let 3 or 4 days go by, I mean, I might just not get to it. I get a lot of email. I do.
I feel like if it's important, you will reach out to me.
Yeah, something old. Mm-hmm.
Preferably by text.
Or if there's some, because sometimes I'll get stuck thinking, where's my invitation to this press screening? And it's because I missed it in the hundreds of other emails. So it's fine. Don't beat yourself up over digital electronica.
Since it's Pride Month, I wanted to share a story I read. It was from a post I saw on Instagram from this creator. So while watching the documentary Before Stonewall, this creator of the post noticed a brief appearance by a young man named Curtis White in a 1954 television news program about homosexuality. Mm-hmm. The name was a pseudonym. The man's real name was Dale Olson. Mm-hmm. At just 20 years old, Olson may have been the first openly gay man to appear on television and publicly defend his sexuality. During the interview, he calmly challenged common stereotypes about gay people. He explained that there was nothing mentally wrong with him and that he had never been arrested. And when asked whether he would take a hypothetical cure for homosexuality, he said no. Most remarkably, Olson acknowledged that his family did not know he was gay and that appearing on television would likely expose him and cost him his job. When the interviewer asked why he would take such a risk, Olson replied, "I think that way I can be a little useful to someone besides myself." This was back in 1954, 15 years before Stonewall and decades before widespread LGBTQ plus visibility. The consequences were immediate. Despite using a pseudonym, Olson's employer recognized him from the broadcast and fired him the next day.
Damn.
Months later, however, he reported that he had found a better paying job. But the story doesn't end there. As an adult, Dale Olson built a highly successful career as a Hollywood publicist. He worked on major films, including the Rocky and Superman franchises. More significantly, he represented actor Rock Hudson and played a central role in one of the most consequential moments in AIDS-era history. In 1985, Olson helped persuade Hudson to publicly disclose that he had AIDS and reportedly drafted the statement announcing it. Of course, Hudson's disclosure transformed public awareness of the epidemic and helped shift the national conversation about AIDS in the United States. So Dale Olson's legacy stretches across 2 defining chapters of LGBTQ plus history. One as a young man risking everything to speak openly about being gay on television in 1954, and later as the publicist who helped bring national attention to the AIDS crisis through Rock Hudson's announcement. I thought that was a cool story.
Yeah. And both of those great examples of you aren't aware of the effect you'll have on people by just being yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
Moving on to the restaurant section. We went to Beverly Hills Bagels for what I thought was the first time, but as soon as we sat down, I realized we'd eaten there before.
I remembered the circumstances. It was also Pride Month, and we had just left a press screening for a Transformers film.
I would recommend people check it out. If you look online, it seems very expensive, but that's because they have two options. Anything they offer, it's like you can jazz it up, and they charge like $3 to $5 extra per item to have more pastrami, more cheese. We didn't do that. We just got the basic versions. We got a pastrami and egg bagel.
Yeah, because we're very demure.
And we got a spinach and feta omelet.
For roughage.
And I have to say, that was a lot of food.
Yeah.
Because the omelet came with hash browns and a bagel with like half a cup of cream cheese.
Yeah.
And that may have been the best everything bagel I've had.
That was excellent.
It was salty.
With jalapeno cream cheese. But yeah, she's like, a bagel is the side. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Eating once today.
And the pastrami egg sandwich, she's like, oh, well, the version you're getting just has a little bit of pastrami. But I thought that was quite a lot of food.
That was enough meat. We did not need more. No.
We also tried on the same day Beverly Hills Cookies, which is across the street. And I believe it was the owner who helped us.
I don't know, but her customer service skills were
top tier,
off the charts. Yeah,
top tier. But it's a high-end bake shop, so it's not cheap. But I'm so impressed with bakeries when you walk in and you see items and they just immediately appeal to you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that shit looks like freshly
something special,
made, and I want it in my mouth now.
But gosh, so what we ended up getting is a duck egg cookie. And an almond fudge brownie. The duck egg cookie is basically duck eggs whipped with white chocolate placed on top of a cookie that almost tastes like a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips.
Yeah, like white chocolate.
Or that.
It was really delicious. Chocolate, but
And what did you think of the almond fudge brownie?
Oh, that was yum yum.
It's gluten-free because it uses
like moist
almond flour.
Marzipan. I must have done something in a past life, not that I really believe in that shit, but with ducks, because for some reason I love eating ducks. And now I've discovered I like duck eggs in my cookies.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I was just like, duck, let's eat it.
But they had a carrot cake muffin top cookie that looked amazing. They had a Dubai chocolate cookie that looked amazing. There were many things in that damn case I would have taken home.
She was like, are you local? Because you're going to come back, right? I'm like, oh, that says some confidence about these goods.
Well, we're often over there because there's a screening room on Rodeo we go to. And we often eat at Chubby Curry.
We do.
So I think this might have to be a new stop whenever.
Rodeo Drive, baby.
And the shop is super cute. It feels luxe.
Yes.
And the benefit of that is 2 is enough.
That's well cost wise also, and
versus something like Porto's where it's much cheaper, and then you feel like I need to get a box of stuff because it's only $20. Well, here you get 2 things and it's $20.
After you wait in that line too, it's just like I gotta get it.
But that area in particular in Beverly Hills, I think is really cute for anyone visiting.
And you can get free parking for 2 hours.
And there's free parking for 2 hours. And I think maybe people don't expect that. And maybe that's why they don't go over there.
Because we're so traumatized living in the city with parking.
We also finally got to try the butcher, the baker, and the cappuccino maker.
We certainly did, yes.
It is a really cute spot.
It was.
And I thought we had a nice morning because there was a reasonable wait time. So we walked to a bookstore. And that bookstore is really cute.
Book Soup, yeah. I haven't been there in years. I found a copy of this Eve Babbitt's book. If you like or are interested in LA, Eve Babbitt's is the shit. Oh my God. The first book I read by her, I texted my sister and I said, I think I found someone that is on the same wavelength as us, specifically you as a woman, because Eve Babbitt sounds like my sister.
Problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then together we're both big problems. So
I love your sister.
Yeah, like when we go out together.
But she's almost as big of a handful as you are.
Yeah, no, we get to be a lot. The problem family. Anyway, we bought that, and my sister just bought her second house, and I bought her a little cute housewarming gift. It was
from Book Soup.
From Book Soup. It was an oven mitt, And what did it say again? Like, I'll feed all you. Well, we'll be demonetized if I say what it says. So,
well, you can say like effing.
Oh, didn't it say I'll feed all you effing effers?
Yeah.
That's my comedy.
The butcher, the baker, the cappuccino maker. I ordered these Dubai chocolate pancakes. Mm-hmm. And I was so pleasantly surprised because oftentimes with flavors like that, they basically give you their plain pancakes and they sprinkle a little bullshit topping. Mm-hmm. But this one tasted like it was infused with the stuff.
Oh, yes. It was mixed in.
And a large portion on top with really nice homemade whipped cream.
It's like when I get crab meat stuff and I actually get large chunks of crab meat.
And you ordered a...
And I believe I ordered the Wagyu beef burger with Gruyere cheese. And I like when I order, and I understand that this is probably also a customer service ploy, but when I order something and the waiter gets excited at the order, I always like that.
Yeah, I feel like I made a good choice.
Because but this man's eyes lit up. He's like, "Oh my God, you!" Like, "Oh great, I'm glad." It feels like I passed a test. Like, you've chosen wisely.
The more fun situation is when the waiter makes a recommendation and you're like, "Nah, I want something else."
Oh yeah, that happened also this week.
But that burger was very good.
Yes, it was.
That cheese was cheesing. Mm-hmm. The bun was bunning. Mm-hmm. It's a cute place. I guess they have a signature Bloody Mary that comes with, it's garnished with all the things, the pickles and the bacon, but it also comes with a grilled cheese sandwich on top, which is not anything special, but I think the presentation of this large cocktail with a sandwich sitting on top of it is cute. Mm-hmm. And after all these years, we finally tried Pasha Mediterranean, which is on Beverly, next to the new Beverly, Quentin Tarantino's theater.
Yes.
And I've driven by that thing how many times?
Countless, yep.
And it never occurred to me, but we went to a screening of The Death of Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. And I was very concerned about parking. So I said, let's get there early and have dinner so we can find parking easily.
And we rolled up right on him. Won't he do it?
Yeah. And I have to say, I did like that restaurant.
Okay, the portions are large. The price is fair.
Yeah.
I got some Turkish coffee, and that
shit was strong as hell.
I don't need a lot of extra zip in my step, but oh my Lord. And then, but it was funny because we were both ordering, and the waiter was very nice. But halfway through our order, he decided to tell us what the most popular item was. And Joseph's like, you were like, are you going to get that? I'm like, no, I want this donor plate.
But I was confused at what he was saying and what you were saying. So I kept saying it like, no, he's like, you're going to get what he said.
I was like, no,
and
no,
I said
I'm
like
not
4 times. And he was confused. And you're like, no, I'm not getting what he said.
No, I know what I want. I would get the Iskander, I think was the most popular item on the menu. And next time I go, I promise to try that. But I was also very happy with my food.
Yeah, I got some sort of wrap.
The wrap was good. Rapping.
And then I asked for a side of fries, and we got this big ass basket of fries. Mm-hmm. I would definitely go back there.
Yes.
Also, while we were sitting there, I saw this Instagram post about which countries have the most beautiful men.
Oh, that's right.
And this list I don't want to go over because I think it's problematic, and there are beautiful people everywhere. Uh-huh. And who crafted this list?
Who is in charge of this list?
The reason I bring it up now is because we were sitting in this Turkish restaurant, and I think Turkey was number 3.
It was
high up on the list. Yeah. And you had your back to the restaurant, so you didn't see the people walking in. And I don't know where these men were from, but there were a lot of beautiful men in this Turkish restaurant. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, we know for sure Turkey's good. We like Ethiopian food.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we ate a lot this week, didn't we?
And there's an area in LA called Little Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. It's on San Vicente and Fairfax. And there's one restaurant we frequented many times over the years called Rosalind's Ethiopia.
Yes. And I think that the familiarity was what kept bringing us back to.
Right. Because, yeah, it was comfortable and we knew it and we loved it. But last week we decided to try a new one called the Masab Ethiopian.
I always wonder, because they're all like right next door to each other. It's like, do y'all hate each other or what?
or they all family. Like,
what's the story here? Because
they have Little Ethiopia on lock. But first of all, the lady who helped us had like the sweetest auntie vibe.
She did, yeah.
She kind of reminded me of one of my aunts, a really sweet lady. And we ordered the same thing we always order, which is
like a combo platter for 2.
Well, because you can get a veggie combo for 2 or a meat combo for 2, or for fat asses like us, you can get both combos put together.
Yeah, we did that. Mm-hmm.
And it was just as good as any other Ethiopian food we've had, which is always good.
Mm-hmm.
And that goddamn bread.
And that injera.
Oh my God. It's like crack.
I know. She's like, do you want more bread? I'm like, no, please.
I said, no, give us a fork because I can't. Because, you're supposed to eat it with the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't give utensils. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. But then it's like, that's a lot of bread.
But the best is that bottom layer of injera.
The bottom bread.
That has soaked up, I'm salivating now, that has soaked up all the juices of all the things.
Oh, and it's just, yeah. And it's kind of fun too, because even though I've had it so many times, I'm kind of not as familiar with what each one is. So it's like a surprise.
Yeah, like, wait, what's this again?
But we also ordered a bottle of something called honey wine.
There was no alcohol in that.
I don't know what that was, but
it tasted nice. But
it tasted very good. But I felt like I was drinking
medicinal
honey. It was very. I mean, I know that was probably 1,000 calories. I know my blood sugar was.
It was very yellow.
Because I think I came home and fell asleep.
And then the next morning I had a food hangover. I'm sure, because I'm not used to eating like that either.
Lastly, good old WeHo Bistro, who I've talked about before the last time I went, has always been so raggedy to me. But recently, they first were marked down to a grade C, which is bad.
That's a death knell right there.
And then were temporarily shut down.
Mm-hmm. We almost walked in there kind of recently one night, but their kitchen was closing. Probably because because the rats had come out, I guess.
Well, that was their problem, vermin. But the real shady thing is after they got shut down because of the vermin infestation and all the other things that made them a grade C, the sign they posted on their Instagram was like, "Oh, we're shut down for technical difficulties."
No.
Like, I mean, I get it. If I were a restaurant owner, and I mean, it's embarrassing and it could ruin a business.
You're shut down because you couldn't get the rat king out of the kitchen.
But I've been there more than a few times, and it does feel raggedy. So I think they need a remodel, but also I'm sure they're on a corner in prime West Hollywood. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's super expensive. Based on the condition of the restaurant, I'm assuming they don't have the funds to.
Maybe that's it.
So
I was kind of reading about the LA Zoo recently too, which is, I think, it's the last zoo in the US that is run by the city. Because usually it's a private organization. Because it's run by the city, nobody donates to it, so they haven't been able to repair shit. They've had to give up all the there are no more elephants. Like, they can't really care for the animals that they do have. Everything, all the signage is outdated.
I have to say, the last time I was at the LA Zoo, I thought it was raggedy.
I mean, we used to go to the free zoo in St. Paul, the Como.
That was more fun than the LA Zoo.
That was more fun than the LA Zoo, and that was free.
Yeah.
But okay.
Someone asked a question that I thought might be good to answer on the podcast. If we could outline our favorite childhood movies.
Oh.
So if you can think of a few, I can start. I know my sister and I have fond memories of my sister and I enjoying 3 movies in particular, like on repeat all the time. Mm-hmm. One was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Oh my God, it's Deb. And then Howard the Duck. Mm-hmm. We watched that thing on repeat, and it's funny watching it as an adult. Like, this is not a movie for children. This is
yes,
not a movie for children. And we also loved Gremlins.
Gremlins was one of my favorites.
And my sister cackles like a witch. And anytime you even mention Gremlins, she thinks about that old mean lady flying on that staircase chair out the window.
Just desserts, lady.
Yeah.
Gremlins was a favorite of mine. But my parents wouldn't get it for me. My maternal grandmother, that was the closest person I was to emotionally as a child, Elsie, she would let me rent it. But I would get so scared, like I would go run and hide in the other room. She'd be like, why are you
scared me as a kid.
But then she's like, why are you watching this when it's doing this to you? But I'm like, I love it. And Ernest Scared Stupid also kind of had that effect on me too, for some reason.
Didn't you meet someone?
Yes, he is a barback at the Eagle and talks to me all the time. Very friendly young man, and is an actor as well. Sometimes I tell people that I write about film or I'm a journalist, and then they're like, oh, I'm very interested in talking to you about what I do. And he's like, oh, Jim Varney's my uncle. I was like, oh my God, I grew up loving your uncle.
Does he kind of look like his uncle?
I guess now that you could be related, but Jim Varney smoked like a carton a day or something, and he ran himself ragged. But Ernest Scared Stupid, which also features one of the all-time greatest people that ever lived, Eartha Kitt. We need to watch Aaron is Scared Stupid. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Anyway, those two were favorites, but as a sensitive little boy that I was, I really, 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 really loved Sleeping Beauty.
Oh.
And I would have it on VHS, and at the age where my mom had to bring me to daycare centers because she had to work, and my dad was finally back to work in the mines after being laid off, I would bring it along, and all the older boys would make fun of me because I just was so wanted to watch Sleeping Beauty all the time.
No. I saw, this is so random, but it made me laugh. I saw a meme that said, "Death cab for cutie implies the existence of death cab for patootie."
Oh, God.
Which cutie patootie makes me think of Rosie O'Donnell and how on her talk show, she would flirt with all, like she would say how all these men are like attractive and how she was in love with Tom Cruise. And she'd call them all cutie patooties.
Yes, like, girl.
I know. But you know what? That facelift,
she looks amazing.
She got a good one.
She looks the best she's ever looked, and I hope she feels that way. Same thing with Kathy Bates. It's like, oh,
yeah. Now it's so cool that in your final stages of life, I mean, not that they're gonna die soon, but later in life, you look your best.
Yeah, and I think it's all, we're all on our own journey, our own age journey, and it's about how you feel inside at the end of the day. And I think it's lovely watching these women who, like, talking about Olivia Wilde and Anne Hathaway and how shitty and misogynist the internet was to, just the hatred that is launched at women. It's like, it's so nice to have the last effing laugh, in my opinion.
Films released we didn't cover. Girls Like Girls.
I feel bad that we didn't get to any of there's a lot of indie queer stuff for Pride Month that we didn't get to, sadly. But Girls Like Girls, directed by Haley Kiyoko. It's, I think they're set in Burl, Oregon, but it's about two, I believe, teenage girls that fall in love, and one of their parents is dying.
Pixar's Toy Story 5.
I've only ever seen the first Toy Story, and that was when it came out. So I know this is a blind spot for me in my film watching, and I think we just weren't prepared to watch 4 of the movies before Toy Story 5, so we did not cover it. But I'm glad to see that all of these people are still getting great opportunities at voice work. I know these films are highly regarded. I loved seeing Joan Cusack out in the red carpet for the first time in 11 years. So there you go.
Maddie's Secret.
Okay, we still might cover this because we were both looking at the trailer and the stills of writer-director John Early, who also stars in drag. And the subject matter is about a bulimic food influencer, which sounds like that's pretty dark, but the marketing of it looks amazing. I'm really excited to watch this.
Lastly, Rose of Nevada.
This was, I believe, in a sidebar at Venice last year, directed by Mark Jenkins. And we covered Mark Jenkins' last film, Ennis, Maine, about that woman on that island, and that's that folk horror, and there's potentially the ghosts from this shipwreck.
Pussy Pass.
Pussy Pass, yeah. This stars Callum Turner and George McKay, both of whom I like well enough, and it's also kind of similar vibes about this mysterious boat that had been missing for 30 years turns up, and then they both work on her re-virginized voyage. You can only have one maiden voyage. Anyway, I think sounds like it might there be similar vibes.
Projects of interest, Palm Grove.
I love that there's a resurgence of some erotic thrillers starring women, because Kate Hudson, who I've come around on a little bit, okay, and Ana de Armas are going to star in this film. And it's directed by Cornel Mandruxo, who's Hungarian. And I had Mandruxo's last film starring Amy Adams just played at Berlin this year, called At the Sea. It hasn't been released theatrically yet, and I was not impressed with that. However, this got my dander up. I'm ready for it.
And some untitled project from
Thomas Vinterberg and Tom Holland, who worked together on a Prada ad. Was it last year? Vinterberg is a Danish director, part of the Dogma 95 group. The Celebration, if you've never seen it, from 1998 I absolutely love that film. His filmography since then is arguably uneven. He's got a Thomas Hardy adaptation in there that actually is not bad, starring Carey Mulligan. His last film was called Another Round with the great Mads Mikkelsen, which I think has been slated since then for an English language remake that hasn't happened. But that's the one where that group of friends gets together and decides that they're all better off kind of drunk all the time because they're more elevated and open to things. And then, of course, that gets them into trouble. But that's worth seeing if you haven't seen it.
This past week on Patreon, we reviewed the gay film God's Own Country, starring Josh O'Connor. Mm-hmm. It Takes Two, the 90s Mary-Kate Ashley Olsen film, which I thought was quite fun.
It was fun. Oh, I miss Kirsty. Anyway.
And the Celine Song film Past Lives.
Yes.
So if people want to check those out, they can give us some money. Unfortunately, there are many entries in the obituaries section. Gene Shalit, the iconic film and book critic, known for his unforgettable look and decades-long run on NBC's Today Show, died at the age of 100.
Damn, I remember growing up seeing Gene Shalit, yeah.
Margaret Carey, the actress and dancer who served as the live-action reference model for Disney's beloved Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. She died at the age of 97.
Okay.
Anne Schedeen, who played the mom on Alf, she died at the age of 77.
Oh, Elf. I loved Elf as a kid.
There's a really interesting piece on YouTube about the complications making Alf related to the creator and the person who sort of operated the puppets. It's pretty fascinating and what contributed to the show going off the air.
Oh, shit. Okay. I had no idea.
Daveigh Chase, former child actress, died at the age of 35. She got her big break voicing Lilo in the hit Disney film Lilo and Stitch.
You also saw her as Samara in The Ring.
Oh, that's right.
And she also plays Jake Gyllenhaal's younger sister, Samantha Darko, in Donnie Darko. And I believe there was a sequel called S. Darko that I never saw. But because she was young, and that's just a tragedy, but I think she had some food-related issues. And I think I saw that her boyfriend, because she'd been in the hospital for sepsis or something, and hours before she died, he had created a GoFundMe to help pay for her significant growing medical bills. But she hasn't been in anything for a while. I mean, this industry eats women up, but that's incredibly sad that she died that way.
James Burrows, a very accomplished American television director, died at the age of 85. He directed over 50 television pilots. He co-created the series Cheers.
Yes.
Which I loved watching with my mom. He also directed a number of episodes for shows like The Bob Newhart Show, Frasier, Will and Grace, Taxi, Friends. Mm-hmm. He has a very impressive career.
He directed a movie that we've seen.
Oh, what is it?
Partners.
With
Ryan O'Neal and John Hurt as cops, and John Hurt's gay.
Oh my gosh. He directed that movie?
Yeah, he directed that.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, I would, dare I say, an ally, but yeah.
Lastly, Casey LaLonde died. He's the grandson of actress Joan Crawford. He's the son of Joan Crawford's adopted daughter, Kathy.
Oh.
He died at the age of 54, but...
That's not old. Jesus.
No, but what was interesting is I saw something about there being controversy regarding him.
Oh.
And apparently some film historians and fan groups argued that Crawford did not leave an estate structured in the way LaLonde sometimes implied. Mm-hmm. And they challenged claims that he or his family controlled her name and likeness. People also referred to him as a faux or unofficial estate representative and questioned his authority at screenings, retrospectives, and other licensing-related topics. And more recently, arguments arose over the restoration and release of Crawford films like Letty Linton.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that for so long.
Because some critics are saying LaLonde overstated his role in making such projects happen. So basically, he was what people are saying the self-appointed executor of her estate, mm-hmm. but seems to have not really had any control over anything.
Mm-hmm. Two things. Have you ever, I know I've showed it to you before, but you should refresh your memory on the poster art for Letty Linton. And also, and part of my algorithm, I see a lot of vintage Joan Crawford stuff on Instagram because I like that old bitch. However, I sent you, I like listening to old audio clips of her, and somebody asked her at some point, I think it was in the 60s, if she was aware of the terminology that referred to these pumps that she made famous. Because, of course, they were called Joan Crawford F me pumps. And she goes, yes, I believe I know what that was. It started with an F, but people don't realize that they kept me up standing for a goddamn long time.
Oh, Joan.
Did you find Letty Linton?
Yes, the poster looks like Scary Movie. She looks like if Ghostface Killer got a makeover at Sephora.
Yeah, it's striking imagery. But I think that just screened for the very first time at the recent TCM Film Festival. I'm waiting. That's on my radar of things I need to see. Yep.
The secret film this week was your choice, and you chose the 1971 British gangster film Villain, directed by a Michael Tuchner. It stars my good friend Richard Burton.
Mm-hmm. I love that I've created such a big Richard Burton fan with you.
You love to take credit for someone else's talent. Richard Burton made me a fan of Richard Burton, okay?
Yeah, but I was the one that made you start watching Richard Burton films.
What is Villain about? In 1970s London, Scotland Yard orchestrates the downfall of mob boss Vic Dakin after he crosses the line by blackmailing members of parliament. Why did you choose this film?
Well, because it's Pride Month, and I hadn't seen Villain, and we are scheduled to talk about another performance from Richard Burton, I think next weekend with someone else, in a film called Staircase, which he's also gay, and in a couple with Rex Harrison. So I've owned Villain for years. I felt like this is the right time to watch it. My last choice for the podcast was another Richard Burton film, Equus. So it just seemed to all kind of align in there. And plus, I am a fan of the other films about the Cray brothers, which this film is loosely based on. This is adapted. Oh my God, this is adapted from a book by James Barlow. And one of the strangest oddities behind the scenes on this is the book was adapted by Al Lettieri, who was, of course, in The Getaway, but is probably best known for his role in The Godfather. So you have all these really weird mask energies that are in control of this queer narrative. It's arguably it's not a queer narrative, but the queer elements in it, I think, are handled in an odd way.
This was an interesting watch. It does not work as a film.
It needs a little pep.
But it's certainly camp.
And you have to, this is 1971. There is a whole era unfurling of British crime dramas. And this is the same year as a much more famous and iconic film that I think Villain wishes it was. And that is Mike Hodges' Get Carter, starring Michael Caine, which is an excellent film and has a remake I've never seen with Sylvester Stallone. I think either in the late 90s or early 2000s. But I have the DVD version. I have a Villain. And it's got like two taglines. One is, you are looking at the face of a capital V villain. And then under the title, it says, by the time he's ready to kill you, it's an act of mercy.
God. So the story is about a London mob boss named Vic Dakin, played by Richard Burton.
Which is a name that reminds me, do you remember Stephen Dorff's name in Blade?
No.
Deacon Frost, I think. Isn't that it?
I don't remember.
Anyway, I kept thinking of Stephen Dorff every time I said his name.
So he's this mob boss who rules through fear, intimidation, and violence. He is made to seem ruthless, although we'll get to it, but most of his aggression feels comical.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a softer side to Vic because he's devoted to his elderly mother.
Yes.
Who appears to be in need of hospice.
Yeah, she's on death's door.
Well, she dies like halfway through. So there's this stark contrast between the tenderness he shows his mother and the brutality he shows to these hoes out on these streets. So what is Vic up to? Someone gives him the idea to steal a company's payroll.
Mm-hmm.
However, the company is located in a rival's territory. So it becomes this cross-functional project.
Multi-jurisdictional effort. Mm-hmm.
Where Vic's people have to work with these associates of the rival gangster's crew.
Mm-hmm.
They perform the heist, but that shit unravels so quickly. And we're going to get to it. One of the associates involved in this heist has taken the money.
Mm-hmm.
So Vic is trying to find this guy to get his money back.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there are two detectives who are trying to build a case against Vic, and they're using surveillance and informants. And I'm assuming in the UK back then, they didn't have like RICO
No.
at their disposal,
and they are played by Nigel Davenport and Colin Welland. And Colin Welland, of course, because you were looking him up during the movie, would go on to write the Oscar-winning film Chariots of Fire, which was Best Picture, which, of course, Mr. Davenport starred in.
But the thing that makes this film unusual, let's say, and appropriate for Pride Month is Vic, Richard Burton's character, is in a quote-unquote relationship with a guy named Wolf, played by Ian McShane.
Wolf Listener is his name, yeah.
And I put relationship in quotations because Wolf is simultaneously one of Vic's associates in this mob organization. He also appears to be a sub.
Yeah, against his will, I'd say too.
Lover. And one of his victims, because Vic is abusive, violent towards Wolf.
It's before there was a sex scene that was cut, but we see the beginnings of it. And it seems like Vic's ritual is that he's got to give his lover a few punches to the solar plexus first
before that Viagra kicks in.
Got to keep you busy, keep the blood flowing. It reminded me, strangely, we watched this the same week as Leviticus, which also features a sexual ritual between two adolescent teenagers that is marked by, I'd say, significant violence.
I'm just going to wrap up the story because honestly, for a film that has so much going on, it's kind of dull.
Again, it has no pep. It's just like, oh God, it's so lethargic.
So going through the details is pointless to me, but the downfall is Vic, in an attempt to find the one associate who stole the money, locates him at this warehouse. All the while, those two detectives are following him, and they witness Vic shoot and kill that man who took his money. So this murder seals Vic's fate because the police arrest him and say, like, we have witnesses, you're cooked. Because up until this point, they couldn't get anyone to rat on him, and they didn't really have any solid evidence to charge him with anything. And the final shot of the film is Vic being gooped and gagged that he's been caught. And
it's giving,
I wish we were on video now so I could post that image because it's pretty funny.
It's giving Jerry Blank because he's looking around all the people, the camera's swirling around. He's like, who are y'all looking at?
Oh my God. We're going to get to how he speaks. Let's start with Richard Burton as Vic. I felt like the opening when we were introduced to him felt very much like, speaking of Joan Crawford, the opening of Mommy Dearest. Because we see Vic get out of bed. And, you know, in 1971, Richard Burton was not fresh and that hair is dyed. But he gets out of bed and goes into the bathroom and we see him tap cold water under his eyes.
Yeah, like for what?
Like, baby, that's not going to do a goddamn thing. That is not going to get it. We noticed throughout this film, and, you know, the British aren't known for having appetizing cuisine.
No.
But these people in this movie eating these dry ass sandwiches.
There's so many little, well, I mean, I know that is a common thing there, but it's funny watching these men because it's just a tiny triangle.
These dainty little bites.
They take it's a triangle of a sandwich always. So, and they make 4, 5, 6 bites even.
But you have to, because you can tell with the kind of bread, like one of them has a cheese sandwich and you can just see it's 2 dry ass pieces of white bread with a hunk of cheese in the middle that gets stuck in the palate of your mouth. So you have to take little bites to manage it.
I mean, I eat like I'm a fugitive from the law, so that would be 1 bite for me. But not to brag or be anything. That's just my nature.
I recognize Ian McShane from the John Wick films. In this film, he's almost unrecognizable to me as a younger man. I will say I found him attractive, and then I was trying to wrap my head around who I thought he looked like, but I think you clocked it because you said he looks like the drag queen Tammy Brown.
Yes.
And Zac Efron. And I would say that that's kind of accurate.
There are a couple of shots where it's like his hair looks beautiful. It's feathered.
The eyebrows fresh. Are very prominent. I think the only problem with Ian McShane in this role is I think he's playing the role like the character is uncomfortable, which he should be.
Which he should be, because I don't think there's no, as the presentation in this version of based on the Cray brother that was gay, he's a victim for sure.
But he looks like he's tweaking.
Yeah.
Like he's on Molly or something. He's grinding his teeth and making weird facial expressions. And
it was entertaining because I don't think I don't think Ian McShane entered my mind as somebody till I was in college and watching more British films. But by that time, it always, like, he's in this film with Melville Poupa that's always in my head called 44-inch Chest, I think. And I always thought as an older man, maybe he looks a little better now. It looked like his face was falling off. So I to say, not to throw shade at this man, but it's like, I don't think he took care of himself.
The hair in this movie is overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
There's so much bad hair. And I know it's the early 70s in another country, but everyone just looks dry, dyed, fried, all of it. Like You said the score of this movie reminded you of Charlie Brown.
Yes.
And I also thought that, but I thought it felt like Charlie Brown mixed with Suspiria.
Not Goblin. Oh my God.
Okay. The best part of this movie, besides Richard Burton's over-the-top performance, is the heist.
Yes, that is a great scene. Mm-hmm.
So it's taking place in front of this large corporate headquarters that appears to be somewhat in like a rural area off the highway. And it is calamitous. It's just a bunch of British men who all look like they're not in fighting shape.
Nope.
All in these tiny ass cars getting out, just swinging briefcases and billy clubs.
These cars look, they're squealing in the pain of having to go fast.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then these cars don't look like they're meant for getaways.
No.
I would say this movie is worth a watch because of Richard Burton's performance and this scene in particular.
Yes.
It's just a doo-doo clown mess. And when the bad guys, after some of them get their asses whooped, they finally all pile into one car because a bunch of cars got wrecked. So you have like what, 7 men piled in this little bitty car.
You know what would work perfectly in that moment is the theme from I Love Boosters when they get in that car together.
Hi ho. Yeah.
But what I was laughing too, because they finally get these briefcases with the money in it. And legit, this one big old white briefcase has these 3 huge prongs that explode from it. I've never seen that.
Well, when it happened, I thought it looked like something that fell out of the sky.
It looked like like when that dog creature has all those legs sprouting in John Carpenter's The Thing. Like, what is happening there?
Okay, the man who ends up taking the heist money.
That's Joss Ackland, who you've seen in many, many things.
His character has an ulcer.
Yes.
And that is a huge plot point. This actor, it's so funny because in this movie, this must be a record for a character to film. He basically collapses or ultimately dies 3 times. The first time when the police come to try to question him, he fakes dropping dead. And they're basically like, girl, get up. We know you're fine.
They're like, next time you have an attack, try not to do it with outstretched hands first.
Then the second time, I think the police are also manhandling him and knock his ass out, so he has to be laid out. And the third time is him dying from being shot by Vic.
Gut shot, yeah.
And each of those times, he does not do a good job. It feels like one of those,
that lady with the wine. The wine stuff.
There's a lot of door knocking in this movie. Like people going to someone's place, either Vic and his people or the police, trying to question fools. And every person who answers the door looks shook. This poor director. I don't know what they were trying to do.
Michael Tuchner, who I'm not as familiar with, although I see a poster with Margot Kidder and a gun looking quite uneasy in a film called Trenchcoat that has piqued my interest. I haven't seen anything else he's directed for film, but I believe Villain was his directorial debut coming out of television. So maybe that explains some of it.
You know, thinking about you saying the story has no pep, I think the problem is beyond the heist scene, which is calamitous. The rest of the movie is just, every scene is someone walking into a space and
talking.
Like,
yeah, it's very talky,
trying to get information or threaten someone. And then we move to the next scene where someone has walked into a place and is asking questions.
Yeah, it's a little, and then you have these cops that are also trailing. I will say I quite like Nigel Davenport is this weary inspector, and I did like him in this. And I think he's handsome as well. He looks like a mix between Burt Lancaster and Tom Selleck.
I agree.
I thought he had a really nice screen presence in this.
There is another amusing scene where we're in a strip club.
Yes.
And we see this woman doing a striptease
with a blue macaw on stage.
And that bird is looking at her like...
I did not take an edible while watching this, but my mind went to, can we get the perspective of the bird at the strip club?
Ooh, that would... Wow.
Like, what is this lady doing with her breasts out like this?
But the bird looked like it was aware that there's some bullshit happening and it's just waiting for it to be over. But the strip club's so funny because there is zero energy in the strip club.
No.
And then we pan over to a wall that has posters of, I suppose, women featured at the club, and they have the women's names on there. They're Liz, Eve, and Janine.
Janine, the new office girl. There's a shot of Richard Burton with Liz, the Liz girl in the background, which I think is, coincidental.
Then we see the bathroom and it's referred to as the naughty boys room.
Oh, so that's a good scene because the man an irate employee that had worked for the place that they hold up gives Richard Burton a layout. So it's kind of an inside job. But then because it's bungled, it seems like this man might talk. So Richard Burton goes to threaten him, this man at the strip club. And that man tries to get away. And Dick Burton gives him a beatdown on these stairs. But the thrashing...
The way Richard Burton looks fighting in that scene made me think he was having a seizure, which made me think bob your head like epilepsy.
Oh, not the Black Eyed Peas.
Which made me remember that song is called Let's Get It Started, but the original title was Let's Get Retarded.
Do you remember that SNL skit with A.D. Bryant?
Yes.
Where they're like, let's make a song with timeless lyrics.
But even for 2003, why would you think that's an appropriate song title?
I don't know. I mean,
why would you think that's appropriate?
That was also the time when everybody called everything gay in a detrimental way. Yeah, that makes no sense. But I also kind of wanted to take footage of that scene and set it to Peach's classic track, F the Pain Away. Because it's giving that to me as well. Oh, and I'd say the third fun scene in this is featuring Fiona Lewis, who you might remember from the film Tintorera. She has a memorable scene getting eaten by a shark that I quite love. I also have her memoir that I haven't read called Mistakes Were Made, Some in French. I always thought she was just a beautiful, kind of fascinating fixture on screen in the several things I've seen her in. But anyway, she's basically the girlfriend of Ian McShane's Wolf, so kind of competing for his attention. And she has a key to Wolf's apartment, and in one moment she interrupts Richard Burton and Ian McShane in bed. And Richard Burton comes out stomping, angry, in a cerulean robe and says, "Get out of here, you slag, and take your shopping with you." Oh, and her character name is Venetia.
The way Richard sounds reminded me, speaking of favorite childhood films, Jeffrey Jones as Dr. Jennings in Howard the Duck.
Okay, there you were giggling
because it reminded me the way Richard Burton sounds in this movie, because he's doing a Cockney accent.
Well, and he's still got that Welsh accent underneath it. So,
but Dr. Jennings and Howard the Duck, when he's starting to transform into the alien, and he's like, "If you can't take the heat, get out of that kitchen." That's how Richard Burton sounds in this movie.
He's like, "Get out here, you slag, and pick up your shopping." And she has no choice but to just go. And then Richard Burton comes into the apartment, and Fiona Shaw is secretly hiding in the bed. And Ian McShane is like, "No, there's just a woman here. She's just a high-class piece of ass," he calls her. And I wanted to be like, "Sorry. Did you tell her you were sorry? She could hear you talking about her that way."
So why is the character of Vic Dakin interesting? I guess up to this point, gangsters were not seen like this, even beyond him being gay, which the film doesn't really explore.
It is so tentative around it that it's kind of embarrassing.
But you told me that a sex scene was filmed.
I read that a sex scene was filmed and it ended up being cut.
Yeah, it's not in the movie. And I don't think your gaydar has to be super fine-tuned to recognize that Vic seems like a little poofy.
Well, he gets very mad that his driver is ogling women. Like he is trying to stymie the bits of heterosexuality he sees around him. There is that.
And we hear him tell Wolf at a point, because he's mad Wolf is doing these petty ass crimes. Like, I give you an allowance.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty easy, even to someone who's not that astute clocking homosexuality, that Vic is probably gay.
He's gay, but then it is not a welcoming depiction of homosexuality. I mean, Vic's a monster. The Krays were bad dudes. So, I highly recommend, if you've never seen it, I believe it's from 1990, Peter Medak film, who did The Changeling and The Ruling Class, did a film about the Krays. And my favorite part of that film version of this story is Billy Whitelaw. You might remember as the nanny in The Omen. Oh, not the nanny. Yeah, Mrs. Baylock in The Omen. She always had a kind of a creepy affect. But Billy Whitelaw is this mother that's giving James Cagney's mom in White Heat kind of overlord vibes. And then also, I don't think it's as great of a film, but Brian Helgeland directed a movie in 2015 called Legend, with Tom Hardy playing both the Kray brothers, and the gay one's paramour is played by Taron Egerton.
What I was trying to say is that Vic Dakin is not your typical gangster, because we're accustomed to seeing gangsters be more cool and glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
Vic is brutal and unpleasant.
Oh, some of those wardrobe choices, certainly. He has that pumpkin colored turtleneck he's wearing in one scene.
We also typically think of gangsters as being more strategic, whereas Vic is clearly ruled by paranoia.
Yes.
We also typically think of gangsters inspiring loyalty, whereas Vic just wants everyone to be afraid of him.
Right.
And related to Vic's demise, usually these gangsters are seen as more tragic figures, whereas Vic is just fully self-destructive. Like, what is the point? Like, what are you...
Right.
It's not even clear to me what he's trying to accomplish, because when he's told about the heist, it's considered like not that much money.
Right. Mm-hmm.
For him, but enough for him to be interested. And he says, yeah, let's do it. But anyway, related to all that, I feel like the film is spending very little time romanticizing this mob boss, which I think is usually the fun part, is like this universe this character creates and all of the inner workings. But in this one, it's just like this violent man who's portrayed in a very campy way, kind of out here being brutal, not really making any sense. The cops trying to pin him for something,
mm-hmm.
and then him going around trying to make sure that no one's talking, but also, where's my money?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just kind of a mess.
Brutalizing everyone. Yes.
Like you already mentioned, the character of Vic Dakin is inspired by Ronnie Kray, a real life gangster. This is a very interesting role for Richard Burton, because he was famous for playing literary figures and nobility.
Priests.
But apparently he took the role because he always wanted to play a gangster.
Oh, well, there you go. You got it. A gay gangster. You've watched quite a few Burton films recently. We did Equus. We have a conversation out there about Night of the Iguana. Boom.
I would say this film is obviously memorable because of the gay plot point and Richard Burton's performance,
mm-hmm.
which again does feel over the top. Mm-hmm. He does not feel like the right person for this.
Mm-mm.
That being said, if it were playing at a cute little theater, it'd be a fun time.
Yeah, I agree.
What would you give Villain?
2.5. It's not great, but
there's not. I would give it 2 out of 5.
Oh, damn. Okay.
What do we have coming next week? I know we're seeing Supergirl.
Yep, which I guess people are not enthusiastic about, it sounds like, because it's not expected. People are. I saw a headline saying that it's tracking to make less money than the Marvels.
Oh, wow.
But whatever. Yeah, we're seeing that next week. And we have a review for The Invite, which we both really liked. And I believe we're also going to cover Couture, starring Angelina Jolie.
Anything else?
No.
Ta-ta.